You're listening to DraftKings Network.
I am warning you right now, we are about to ruin Saltburn, the movie Saltburn. If you have not seen it, you need to just skip past this segment. I'm warning you now because otherwise you're going to get mad, really mad at everyone on this show. Saltburn, if you want to watch it and do not want it spoiled, you must fast forward through this now. Don't be an asshole.
This one's the hockey show. This is the weekly one.
The hockey show.
Yeah.
It's not the postgame show?
No, it's the hockey show.
It's the hockey. It's the postgame show only on Fridays. It's the hockey show.
No. The hockey show is every Friday. The postgame show happens sometimes at the Panthers.
This is the postgame show.
So at the end of this, what am I setting up?
The hockey show.
Guys,
This is the week. This is going to go
with Dwork, not the postgame show with Dwork.
So this is going to go in the audio postgame show, but the postgame show is the hockey show.
Yes.
All right, let me explain something to the audience here because this is
What
quite
if it's a tie?
the entanglement we've got going on here. Jessica and Lucy have an unnamed, mostly, hold on.
Twice named.
Hold on, twice
girls.
named. Forgive me.
The show's so
many
nice,
names.
they named it twice.
Okay, and that is going to appear. Are there any special guests? Is
Well,
it you and
It already
Lucy?
appeared.
Lucy, also, Steely Dan, Gojo came on this week.
The show.
And
Not Saltburn.
the problem that I have with the way that we're promoting things around here is
We're promoting too much.
Or promoting after the fact.
what Roy is doing in the post-game show.
Or the hockey show.
So it's two different shows.
It's two different shows. I've been saying this from the beginning.
guys-
When
No,
did
you
it get a
haven't.
spin-off?
Wait, there's two shows?
Yes,
I thought it was
been
one
very
show the
clear.
entire
No, this has been very clear.
Jesus.
Today's hockey show is the main show's post-game show.
Yep.
There's
As always.
also a post-game show after
game.
some home hockey games. Not exactly sure when, though.
Well done,
Wait,
Billy.
what are they each
Billy,
called?
thank you.
Which one is called the
Yeah.
hockey show?
This one.
This one.
This
The
one.
one we're about to do.
both the hockey show,
just different episodes?
No, the other one's a different thing.
No. The other one is the postgame show after the Panthers games.
But this hockey show is in the
Long
post-game
titles.
show.
This hockey show, hockey show, is in this postgame.
The hockey show is in
the
the
main
post-game show, but
Wait.
the post-game show is called after the game.
Is it the hockey show or the hockey show?
That's a good question.
It depends on
difference.
where
Yeah.
you're from, I guess.
It should be the.
If you're from Ohio,
It
it's
should be
the.
the. Yeah.
I mean,
should be
it's
the.
dialect and yeah.
I gotta tell you, like the branding on this hockey enterprise of yours is really messy.
Finally, someone
Should
said
have been
it.
Foot
Hey.
Boys.
Yeah. No. No.
That's a good one, actually.
Foot.
Boys.
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 No.
Roy, I have been very disappointed.
Call it Ski Boys.
I've been very
said
disappointed by your performance today, Roy, because your hockey show is a bit of a mess promotionally,
One. There's two.
and this
After
is
the game or the hockey show?
this is the part that bothered me the most today about your general performance today.
Oh boy.
Is that I saw you in jail, okay, and it made me happy to think you were suffering in jail.
Really?
Yes,
Christ almighty,
but
man.
here's what happened, Roy. Here's what happened. I kept looking at you in jail, and you couldn't stop trying to suppress a giggle while I had jailed you. You could not fundamentally stay in jail, sad, properly jailed, justly jailed. You kept smiling and laughing and not staying properly punished in jail.
6-game winning streak, Dan.
He's making the best of a bad situation.
He
I mean,
literally
everyone
can't keep the
experiences
smile
jail
off his
differently.
face.
Dan.
I've never recognized or seen this Roy in my life before.
We've never seen Sam Reinhart have this kind of production before.
All-star.
Roy, you need to stop using the Lord's name in vain. People are getting mad at me for doing it too much,
I'm sorry. I apologize.
and we have to.
The Lord and Savior.
You took Barry Keegan's
my
name
boy.
in vain.
I don't know what's happening with that movie and people. It's just Adnan Virk is totally repressed, and
Tony didn't like it either.
I don't like it. I'm not repressed, but I don't like it. It was just whatever. Like, I mean, I didn't really care. What, Jeremy?
I feel
go
like
ahead,
Saltburn wasn't made for you, Tony. That's all I'm saying.
I saw it. I appreciated what they were going for. It just wasn't for me. I didn't like it.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
We agreed.
Yeah, but there's an undertone there that I don't really like. If you want me to
We
be
are
honest,
agreed to agree.
I mean, you've told me to shut up very loudly like 6 times this week, so
And I feel like I've been justified every time.
Yeah.
Billy, what's happening with Tony and Jeremy?
I haven't a clue.
I think
Billy bullied Tony, so Tony bullies me,
I don't
and so I'm
bully
finally
anyone.
firing back.
I have a theory. It revolves around creatine.
Oh no.
Tony, I believe what's
I
happening.
didn't say that.
What's creatine
That's
have to
Mike.
do with anything?
I
I'm
bel-
not on tren. Like, it's creatine. It's a normal, something that's actually in the body, by the way. Go ahead, Dan.
Okay, let's test you.
What are you alleging?
That I'd like to know that.
I'm just saying, mood swings or can,
I'm in the same mood all the time.
You know what? I'm back on Tony's side.
Wow.
Look, there's a lot of tension in this room, and one of the tensions here that I just felt, Stugotz, because I believe what's happening around this movie, okay, and Mike Ryan and Jeremy and Jessica and Samson, all allies on this, is they like some shocking things that maybe some art critics would tell you are gratuitously shocking. I have not yet seen the movie, so I don't know who's repressed here and who's not
We'll
repressed.
see it together on Sunday.
Yes, but there are shocking things in this movie. But Tony also did not like the movie and also does not like the suggestion that he's repressed and also does not like that the artists in the room are looking down at the caveman. They're judging his
Please,
movie
artist,
taste
Dan,
here.
artist, please, give me a break.
My doodles are pretty good.
Yeah.
I have a #1 album.
Tony feels to me like he does not like that
Jeremy has an Emmy.
the rest of you are being intellectually superior
I have
here.
the hockey show.
Which one?
You have 2.
2.
Yeah, you have 2 hockey shows.
That's right.
Roy,
Wait, what did you not like about the movie, if I may?
It's not that I didn't like. It's that look. When you have somebody who just, I don't want to spoil things. If we already
Thank
spoiled
you.
it a lot.
Just spoil it. Who cares?
No, don't
No,
spoil
we already
it.
spoiled
we
it
already
because
did.
then we're watching
See
it
you
on
Sunday.
We'll spoil it
Yeah.
Sunday.
Right.
We'll
Everybody's
watch
gonna
it
watch
together.
it.
It's like there's a
Sunday.
wiener.
The
That's
point,
it.
no, there's
Yeah.
a lot.
Oh,
That's not the point.
You are
whole
really
point of the movie.
minimizing it.
Yeah, you are.
Is there?
It's that in this movie, the bad guy just does all the bad things and gets away with them without any sort of repercussion.
Whoa. He's got to
All
live
right.
with those
That was a
consequences.
Oh yeah, he's got to live with those consequences in a huge.
But
estate
you
with
didn't
a
say
ton
who
of
the bad
money.
guy
Okay.
is.
Oh,
What
man,
were the
major
It could be the
Spoiler.
butler.
What
It
happened?
could be anybody, but the point being that it's just like one thing after another happens, and I'm like, okay, so when is he gonna get his? Oh, never. Oh, sick. Okay.
Oh, he
Hers.
didn't
Some people
get it?
never get theirs,
Yeah.
Tony. It's a harsh lesson that we all got to learn.
What's an
It's-
example?
I'm getting
of
mine, buddy.
something?
We're all going to learn it with the national championship game on Monday. That sometimes being rotten doesn't have consequences.
Watch party for that too, or
I'm going to just name Georgia the champion at the end
you
of
can't
that.
do that.
They
I
should
like it,
claim
Dan.
honestly.
Congratulations.
I think if Washington wins, can't they technically to one of the formulas claim a national title? That was part of their motivation in playing that game as they did.
They can.
I
They're
did
giant
my
losers
My
for doing
favorite
that.
thing that Kirby Smart did in that Orange Bowl was okay. It's about backups now, and you're going to say that we won this game
Here are mine.
this way. Here's a white running back you've never seen before.
I had this hot take in Gen CFB, which everyone's already listened to, but I don't really care if there's some blowouts in bowl season. It's okay. We had enough really good games to balance out the blowout games. I don't know if it's an indictment on the entire postseason system that game was a humongous, sad, depressing blowout.
We've covered this week. Viewers also don't care. Ratings up.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It's all just talk. It's just, hey, fix it. What needs fixing? 2 great games on Saturday. Minor league football. It was amazing. They came down to the end, and at the end of the holidays, you might have been tired of football. Stugotz was saying at 9 o'clock, he was saying, it's
too late.
Leave me alone, football.
Tired of
Too late a
football.
start. That's right.
Stu, this is what I'm nervous
I was
about for
just
the
tired.
national championship game. I'm nervous the game's not going to be that good because we are so blessed by these 2 tremendous college football playoff games. And last year, same thing. Both of those games were really good. And then we got the most duddest, turdest, lamest, stupidest national championship game ever. And I'm scared. I'm scared that we can't have 3 good things.
You know what I
It's
want
too
to
good
see?
to be true.
I can't be falling asleep come halftime, and I don't want marching bands. Leave that to the Rose Bowl.
No.
Yeah, just
No.
give me a
I love
traditional
marching
bowl
bands.
game halftime show.
That's the band of the hour.
Throw the Fray up there performing "How to Save a Life." Do something.
The fray.
The Fray.
I love
Won't surprise
marching
you, but
bands.
I loved the fray.
Just to be clear, put it on
course
the,
you did.
Put
So
it on
did I.
Have the script play break even.
Dork.
Do something that's like light but poppy.
Marching bands. I want a marching band.
They suck.
Put it on the poll at Levitard.
Oh, One
Show.
Republic.
Do marching bands suck?
They had a
The
song.
All-American Rejects.
Something safe
Jason Mraz.
and white. It has to be white.
Jessica Turdist.
Turdist.
She's right.
Turd ass
Turdist.
Ferguson.
Of course she is.
That was the game last year.
So last year's game was turd ass Ferguson, and you're fearing that this game is going to be turd ass
Welcome,
Ferguson.
Vertical Horizon.
Absolutely. It's too good. It's too good. We were blessed. We were blessed on New Year's Day by those games.
But I don't think that the game can be bad if Washington's winning it by 4 touchdowns.
I don't think so either. I don't think we'll have it what happened last year, but if it does, 2 turdy games in a row, then we will have pitchforks in the streets. We'll have to change college football.
Coming up next, the hockey show.
What?
Hello, welcome to the Hockey Show. It's a new year. It's a new us. Not really.
Same us.
Same us. My name is Roy Bellamy. David Dwork of the Hockey News. We are wearing hockey jerseys today because we have ourselves a top 5 list. Well, 4 of them. 2 from me and 2 from Dave. It's going to be the top 5 and the bottom 5 list of jerseys that we actually like over the span of our hockey fandom. So we'll get to that in a moment, but we're going to start off on Tuesday. The Panthers played the Arizona Coyotes, and within that game, Nick Cousins got ran. He was boarded by again. By the way, he got ran by Jason Zucker, who ended up getting suspended for 3 games. Let's discuss this play.
I just want to know, is like Nick Cousins become a magnet for these kind of things? And it's funny, the reaction over the last couple of days since it happened. There's so much hate and visceral for Nick Cousins out there. It's kind of shocking. There's this big perception that he's a dirty player. We've been watching him day in and day out. Have you noticed him as a dirty guy?
No. In fact, on the hit that led to that boarding penalty, one of the Coyotes ended up on his knee. It looked like he actually let up on the hit.
He definitely let up. He could have destroyed, who was it? It was Juuso Valimaki. He could have destroyed him. The guy was on his knees, a few inches from the boards, and Cousins certainly let up. He hit him, and it looked like Valimaki almost looked around like, did I just get hit? Did something just fly? Like, it was like nothing.
And he skated away.
I feel like Jason Zucker saw that, and he's like, it's this guy again. Like, for whatever reason, there's this perception. And if I'm wrong, world, please come send me the footage, send me the evidence, send me the receipts of Nick Cousins as a dirty, dirty player that he seems to have this perception of. I
don't know. I think the Blue Jackets fans are going to end up coming into your mentions and say, hey, what happened?
Bring it on. Educate me, please.
All right. It's time for the lists.
Let's do this.
All right. So we're going to start off with our top 5 list of our favorite hockey jerseys. And
NHL jerseys, right?
NHL jerseys.
NHL
not international, not Europe, not Russia.
No men's league,
no
none of
men's
that.
league. This is straight National Hockey League jerseys, not AHL either. All right, not juniors or anything like that. So I do have an outside looking in, so I'll get with that one first. I'm going to go with the early 1990s Vancouver Canucks set.
Okay.
All right, so this is the one with the skate.
Yeah, the skate.
Right. And this is the one that they went to the Stanley Cup final in 1994.
The Kirk McLean, Pavel Bure, Trevor Linden, good jersey.
Yeah, I think that's a good jersey. That's my outside looking in. You have an outside looking in?
I had a few outside looking ins, but if I'm gonna have to narrow it down to one, I'm gonna go with the original Mighty Ducks jerseys.
Okay.
From the movies from the early 90s, those, with the goalie mask duck. Quack, quack. I love it.
Quack, quack.
No,
So Danny loves that.
Danny
Loves
agrees.
that
I
jersey.
love it.
Number 5 for me, the early 1990s Los Angeles Kings set.
Nice. The Gretzky's.
Gretzky eras. Yeah, that was nice. It was silver and black. Had the nice little crest.
Yep.
That said Kings on it. Had the crown. It was a nice looking set.
That's also on mine, but I'm going to take it off because it was on yours, and I'm going to replace it with the original Washington Capitals jerseys with the little stars on them and everything from like the 80s. Those, for whatever reason, they grew on me. I like them. I think they're very nostalgic.
Yes, I think that's very good as well. The current jerseys were remodeled in that image, so very good. Number 4 for me, the 1990s version of the Hartford Whalers.
Okay. The Whalers it's a win. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Number 4 for me is one that I think It might be on a lot of people's least favorite lists, but I just always loved it. And it's the mid-90s New York Islanders fisherman jerseys.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. No, I might be the only person that still likes these, but I for whatever reason, just like I picture Eric Fichaud, the flowing hair.
Zdeno Chara.
Yeah, Brian Berard. It's just,
That's a poor time in Islanders history.
Yes, it was.
So that's why it's probably looked on less than kindly.
Just Stan Fischler and that, the only ones that like this jersey.
Okay. Number 3 for me is last year's alternate Florida Panthers jersey.
Ooh.
All right, that was the one with the shoulder patch from the old jersey.
Yeah.
And they put it on a sky blue template. So,
No, it was a nice one. I liked it.
Yeah, that was very good.
Number 3 for me is I think it's the original Kings jersey. It's the purple one with the crown on it.
And the other one is yellow.
Yeah, the other one's yellow. It's very, very old 80s type hockey.
Yeah.
But I like that. They had that epic comeback against the Oilers in the playoffs wearing those jerseys. So it just, very cool.
All right, number 2 for me is the alternate Avalanche jerseys that they modeled after the Nordiques.
Okay, the first reverse retros with the fleur-de-lis on the front.
Yeah,
that's
that was
nice.
from a couple years ago.
And that's actually my number 2 is the original Quebec Nordiques home jerseys.
Whoa!
So, boom, we're both right there with that one.
All right, and my number 1 is the road Chicago Blackhawks jersey.
I had a feeling that you were going to have it up there.
Yeah.
No, my number 1 is, I guess it shows my inexperience in hockey fandom, whatever you want to call it, but it's the Arizona Coyotes Kachina uniforms that they brought back this year that they had in the 90s with like Nikolai Habibulin and all that. Those were awesome.
All right, coming up next, we have from the NHL Network, we have Mike Kelly, who happens to be an analytics expert, and he educates us on numbers. All right, it's time for the 10-minute misconduct, and in the penalty box, we have Mike Kelly, who is a hockey analyst for the NHL Network. He's also an analytics expert, and what I am not is an analytics expert. So, Mike, I want you to explain to me, like a 6-year-old, like Izzo Washington said in Philadelphia, like a 6-year-old. Can you explain to me the advanced analytics here in the sport of hockey?
Sure. So long and short is I work for a company called Sport Logic. We work with most of the teams in the NHL, supplying them. We're third-party data companies, supplying them with information, right? Mm-hmm. A whole bunch of proprietary stuff that we track that goes beyond what fans would be used to seeing, like on NHL.com, goals and hits and all that kind of stuff. So really what it is just information, products, services that help them gain a better understanding of the game, help their staff look at the game in a more granular way, and ultimately try to make better and more informed decisions.
When did you see a change in the way the actual teams use stats, especially analytics here, use stats in the performance of the players?
You know what? It's noticeable in different areas. Like in the last, I would say 5 to 7 years, we've seen goal scoring go up a lot, right? Save percentages have gone down. Offense is kind of taken over. Part of that is because teams over the last decade or so have really started to understand the value of shot quality. And you watch hockey, and watch tape from, let's go way back 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 50 years ago. Guys get over the blue line, they're bombing shots from everywhere. It was a little more chaotic. Today, you see teams hang onto the puck a lot more, really try to work for those high quality shots and break down opponents that way. A power play numbers have gone up, same idea. So that's just one general way where analytics, I think, have helped teams understand how to be as productive offensively as you can. We simply have more information on the offensive side of the game than the defensive. But it creeps into the way teams play in a whole bunch of different ways. That's probably the most obvious one recently.
Mike, I wanted to ask you about a player that we see a lot of down here that's been talked about a lot this season, and that's Sam Reinhart. Obviously, he's having a great year, contract year, scoring a ton of goals, but I don't feel like it's talked about enough how good he is beyond his goal scoring, what he does, not just in terms of playmaking and offensive numbers, but possessionally and defensively as well. So I was just wondering if you could kind of expand on little Sam Reinhart for us.
Yeah, it's a good point. He probably doesn't get talked enough about in general, even though he's scored so many goals. I agree. Like just on that side of it, if you watch him play and you watch again where he gets to the front of the net, his hands around the front of the net are really good. Scores a lot, rebounds in tight, right on top of that crease area. Always been a good part of his game. The rest of it, like you said, defensively, he's good. Winning battles on the walls, doing those kind of things. And, you got complementary guys like Barkov, who's just an animal everywhere. That line has been, one of the best in the league this season. So his all-around game, you're right, probably deserves more credit. I just think even his offensive game deserves more credit because he's up there with some of the better players in the league.
Alexander Barkov, you just mentioned, is an animal everywhere, as you said verbatim. Explain to me defensively. Like, I know you said that defensively there's not a lot of advanced analytics to describe defensively what a hockey player should be, but can you describe how Alexander Barkov is far and away, the Selke Trophy winner this year?
I'll go with it because we're on this podcast. You're wearing Florida Panthers jersey, right? So
yes, I am.
He's up there for sure. He's up there for sure. There's no more Bergeron to deal with.
Yeah.
There is still things we can look at defensively, right? We're getting better as technology gets better as well in doing that. But Barkov wins a ton of puck battles. He's top 3 in the league this season in winning puck battles. You just watch the way that he uses his body, his frame to angle guys, and also just his strength to win those battles. Stick checks, so separating an opponent from the puck with your stick, just poking it away from him, really good. Blocking passes, in addition to blocking shots, is another thing that we measure. Getting your stick into lanes, breaking up plays that way. He's really good in all these areas. These are all kind of things that go into his overall game that help him just be the player that he is. So, yeah, I'm with you. I'd throw a love at him for the Selke Trophy this season, no question.
So, in terms of goal scoring this year, a guy who I feel like I see all the time is Austin Matthews. I just, in my opinion, he's kind of developed into perhaps arguably the best goal scorer in the league right now. I don't know if that's something that you would agree with, Mike, but just looking around the league, especially with Connor McDavid and him kind of having a little bit off year. But in terms of the hierarchy, I guess, if he's not the best pure goal scorer in the league, Austin Matthews has got to be up there and maybe one of the best we've seen in a really long time, no?
Yeah, no, I'd say flat out he's the best goal scorer in the league. I think like in any given year, a Pasternak could challenge him. I think Ovi's days of challenging that are probably behind him, but we're talking about a big age difference here.
Yeah.
Matthews, for me right now, if like you can throw one guy over the boards and there's 2 minutes left and you need a goal, I'm picking Matthews over everybody. He's got 30 goals in 35 games, which is wild. He scored 60 before. The thing that impresses me so much about him is just how versatile he is in the way that he does it. One of the things we track is not only where guys shoot pucks from, but the types of chances they get. Off the cycle, he's got more chances than anybody. Off the forecheck, he's got more chances than anybody. Off the rush, he's top 10. Like, you can't take one thing away from this guy and say, okay, that's how we shut him down because he'll beat you 4 other ways. And his shot, like everybody focuses on because it's so good, man, he puts so much torque on that stick and shoot it so hard. I'd say for sure, in my view, he's the best goal scorer today.
What about Connor Bedard? I mean, obviously the Chicago Blackhawks are in definite rebuilding mode, and it seems pretty clear that he's going to end up with the Calder Trophy this year. So, analytically speaking, can you explain Connor Bedard?
Yeah, for sure. And there's some similar elements there to Matthews too, right? Like Batard literally said he used to watch YouTube videos of Matthews and how he kind of hooks his hands in and shoots the puck tight to his body. We've seen him score like that. He's really, really been productive this season off the rush as well. And again, part of it is because Chicago, if it isn't Bedard, who's it going to be carrying the puck in, right? Like, man, they had a couple of complimentary guys there, and Hall with the injury and Perry being gone. It's really on Bedard to carry the load offensively. So the thing that's crazy about him is a lot of these key areas that we focus on in terms of are you going to generate offense sustainably, right? How much do you have the puck in the offensive zone? How often do you enter the zone with possession of the puck, create chances off the rush, beat guys one-on-one in open ice? Like, he's top 20 in the league in a bunch of these areas for a rookie. And you think about just 20 great players, right? Kucherov, McKinnon, McDavid, you go down the list. He's hanging with a lot of these top guys. Part of it out of necessity, but you got to be able to do it too. And it's crazy as an 18-year-old kid that he's doing what he's doing.
They're going from one edge of the age spectrum to the other. A guy that you mentioned a few minutes ago, and Alex Ovechkin. What's the deal with Ovi this year? I mean, I guess maybe you could argue Father Time has caught up with him, but really quickly from 1 year over the Nets. But it's just kind of shocking to see such a regression from Alex Ovechkin after a career, of just putting up basically 40 goals year after year.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a cliff for sure. He's starting to score a little more now, which is good. And he's been owed some goals too, because even before this recent little surge, like, he shouldn't have been stuck on 5 goals for as much as he was. 2 of them were empty netters. But that being said, like, there's not as much jump in his game. Like, this isn't, you think about peak Ovechkin in his prime. He's flying around. He's on the forecheck. He's hitting guys. He's creating even off the rush, like, powering his way to the net. You watch the way he enters the zone now. He pulls up a lot. Like, there's just not as much jam in his game. And it comes with getting older. Like, you can understand that for sure. Think about Washington's power play. They've been missing TJ Oshie for good chunks of the year. Nick Backstrom's gone. So there's things around him that are contributing to it too. His shot's still his shot. Like, it's still, to me, very good. He's shooting it from the power play in that spot, about as much. But there is something a little off just in terms of what we've kind of been used to seeing with him.
Over the past decade, not only have we seen a drop in fighting, we also seen a drop in body checking. Analytically speaking, is the game flowing better with the drop in body checking?
You know what I would say to that is that a lot of defenders today use their stick to defend, maybe more so than the body in the past. Like, I think you get into a playoff series, finishing checks is really important because it wears guys down over time. And, it kind of sets a tone in the game as well. 82-game regular season, these guys can't go around doing that all the time. They're not going to have anything left for the next game. I do think that it's become a little, I don't know, for my personal liking as a fan, a little too kind of, not as physical, not as intense. Like, you watch a lot of games now. Yeah, you watch a lot of games now and you're like, where's the chippiness? Where's the animosity? Like, it still exists, at times for sure. But the reality is, if you go around chasing hits, you put yourself out of position. And again, teams have really valued puck possession and having the puck and getting it back and being as efficient as you can to get it back. And most of the time, that's not trying to lay a guy out.
All right, let's get to this list here. We got the jerseys list. Mike has provided a list of his favorite hockey jerseys over, since the time he's been watching hockey, even beyond that. So you got the top 5 list here, Mike. Let's go with number 5.
Okay, I knew we were going to be talking about this. I didn't know I had to have a list in order. So
yeah, that's my bad. I told Mike that we were doing jerseys. I didn't tell him that. That's my bad.
You might have told me that.
Damn it,
I
Dave.
didn't do my homework.
Yeah, well, you got to do your homework.
I'm going to do it, though.
Okay.
I'm going to give you 5 off the top of my head.
Okay.
So, number 5, give me the Quebec Nordiques.
Nice.
I think they had a great look, great team.
A bit late on that one, huh?
I don't know if that's good or bad. But I got a noise for it. So, like, the Avalanche kind of brought it back a little bit. And I think when a lot of teams bring something back, they tweak it a bit. It's not that good. I like what Colorado did, and I like old school Nordiques. That's number 5.
All right, what's number 4?
Number 4, I'm going to go with a classic Chicago Blackhawks. Great color. Boom. Give me Chicago, number 4. Number 3, I'm going to go with another classic. It might be the all-time classic. It's the Montreal Canadiens. They haven't tweaked it much in 100-plus years. Why would you? It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Danny.
He's so quick. He's adapting so fast. Like, Mike knows the pause for the crazy sound. You're a true professional, Mike.
Number 2, Mike.
Number 2. Let me check my list right here that I did not prepare. In fact, let me create a list here with my
fingertip
pen.
Wow.
All right. Number 2, Hartford Whalers.
Oh, yes.
Give me what I didn't realize for so long. It's like the FedEx logo. Do you see the H in the W? Someone pointed that out to me like 10 years ago. I'm like, the jersey just gets better over time.
You also see the whale's tail in the logo as well.
It's got everything you want and more.
Yes.
So that's number 2.
And number 1.
I see a Canucks jersey on the panel today, and I like that. They've had a few different jerseys, but the best jersey ever
He's got it with him. The skate.
The skate.
Free the skate. Canucks fans want to see it. This was my guy growing up. So
we liked him down here too.
Yeah. Well, he had a couple big years down there.
Yes, he did.
I love talking to Billy Lindsay over at the NHL Network and getting the old stories about was there too. So that skate jersey to me, I don't know. I grew up with it kind of. There's part of that, but like how it's not their everyday jersey right now, I have no idea. The fans want it. It looks unbelievable. The white version of that jersey with the skate is awesome. I say bring it back full time.
But it needs to be in the 90s jersey. What they have now with the alternate is they mixed their current jerseys, at least the font is concerned on the back of the jersey, with that 90s jersey. I think they just need to go full old school 90s. Just like I think the Senators should do the same thing. They mix the old jerseys with the font in the back with the old school jersey. So if you're going to go old school, don't half-ass it. Go full bear old school.
I'm with you. 100% agree. I say just go right back to it. It worked and it's beautiful. I don't think any fans anywhere in Vancouver would be upset with that.
Absolutely. Mike Kelly at the NHL Network, we appreciate you joining us.
Thanks, Mike.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.